1971 to 1974. Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler.
Game 461, Angels at A's. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1971-74 Carryover League. We're continuing in the Race to the Pennant postseason tournament here in the American League West, property of the Oakland A's. Let's go see what is the calculus for this West here. We have here the Angels are 3.5 games back with 7 games to play. Oakland beat them. It took 7 games the first time, 4 games to 3. Very tight, but Oakland has a narrow +1 to make it even worse for the Angels. At 3.5 games back, if they win 5 of 7, they'd still be a half a game back, but they'd have the tiebreaker, which would encourage a Game 8 tiebreaker, and they would have to win that. So yeah, the odds aren't very good at all. They'd have to win 6 of 8 games against Oakland. But it's been tough baseball with these clubs. Let's take a look and see what's happened. Game 1, Vita Blue, Frank Tanana, battle lefties in this one. Scoreless until the 4th. We get an RBI single by Sandy Alomar, the All-Star Angel. 1-0. Stays that way until the 8th inning. Jay Johnston singles, Valentine singles, and Paul Shaw gets a double off of the Claudel Washington defense, or the Angel Mangual defense in this case. 3-0. Vita Blue exits the game, and Frank Tanana has his way today with the Oakland A's. Tanana taking over the top spot in the rotation away from Nolan Ryan because he's been a better pitcher. His first card he had, I think it's in '74. Anyway, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. The Angels, they beat Oakland 3-0. And they cut the lead to 2.5 with 6 games left. So let's see what happens in Game 2. And then the matchups are not going to be too, distorted. They're going to just match up nicely. It's Catfish Hunter for Oakland and Nolan Ryan for the Angels. The Angels don't care. They're like, I don't care you throwing out there. We're going to scrap and claw our way and try and figure out how to score a run or two. Don Baylor leads off the game with a single. Ground ball moves him to second, and he scores on a 2-base error by Claudel Washington. It's 1-0. It stays that way until the 7th. A walk, a single, a double play, but then Gene Tennis gets a bloop single. Game's tied at 1 between Ryan and Hunter. By the way, Nolan Ryan's final line, he leaves after 7. 7 innings, 7 hits. He only walked 2 guys and struck out 8. Catfish Hunter went 9 innings, and that's all he can go. He's a starter 8, can't go extras, so he gave up 7 hits and a run. 1-1 game goes into the 10th inning. The home team goes to Eddie Fisher because they used Dave LaRoche in the 8th inning here. This was kind of a magic inning for the Angels, as Dick Green singled, Campanera singled, Mike Egan singled, bases loaded, nobody out, and Dave LaRoche gets out of the jam. It's a 6-2-3 double A and a fly out, and then 3 more outs in the 9th. So they don't want to use him too much. So they bring in Eddie Fisher in the 10th, and you get a single by Claudel Washington, a bunt by Dick Green, and an RBI single by Campanera for the run. Then in the bottom of the 10th, Raleigh Fingers, who's had a terrible year, not a bad year. No, he's not been bad. He's been terrible. Let's get that straight. He's had a terrible year. Bottom of the 10th, he's asked to close out a 2-1 victory. He gives up a leadoff double to Paul Shaw. And then Bobby Valentine comes in to pinch hit bunt. A pinch A bunt bunter. Telegraphs, hey, I'm going to bunt, guys. Rolls a 4, gets the single anyway. Pinch bunter bunts for a single. When does that ever happen? But it just did. That's all right. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And suddenly, Raleigh Fingers finds his stuff. He gets Jim Spencer to foul to the catcher, strikes out Glenn Borgman, and Mickey Rivers pops to short. And the A's, they get a win, 2-1, but it wasn't easy, and nothing ever is when you're playing the Angels. It's slow as molasses, and they have good pitching to the Angels, and stagnant offense. Oakland wins 2-1. So now we go to Oakland for Game 3. And we have Andy Hassler. I miss my friend Andy. Andy Hassler against Ken Holtzman here. And this is a very fun game. In the top of the second, a couple singles, an error by Joe Foy, who starts against lefties and makes errors and doesn't do anything. Doesn't get on base, makes lots of errors. I don't understand why they don't just let Dick Green play full-time second base. They get a single and a sac fly. It's 2-0 California, the visitors. Bottom of the third, a single, a K, a single by Angel Mangual, and my goodness, folks, Orlando Cepeda gets a 2-run triple. Would score on an error by catcher Art Kuznire, and it's 3-2. But in the top of the sixth, it is a home run by Sandy Alomar, who hit like 2 of them. He somehow got a home run. Actually, he got it off the Holtzman card because Alomar, they gave him power versus lefty. So it's a 3-3 tie, and here we go again, folks. Extra inning baseball. And then the extra inning baseball, Holtzman's final line, he went 9 innings, giving up 8 hits, 3 runs, just 1 earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Hassler went 7. Cecil Upshaw went a couple. In the 10th and 11th innings, they were both scoreless innings. Fingers 2 shutout innings. They decided to pull him. They didn't want to give him a lot of innings. They wanted to conserve his innings, so they pulled him after just 2 innings. So they brought in Dave Hamilton. Hamilton immediately gives up 3 singles and a run, and the Angels have the lead. So the Angels, trying to win the game, they bring in their closer, Dave LaRoche. Gives up a single to Joe Rudy, but then he strikes out Reggie Jackson. He strikes out Angel Mangual, but then there's nothing to do with Orlando Cepeda except serve up a 2-run homer by Orlando Cepeda, who wasn't even on Oakland. He was the big off-season acquisition. The extra stick, they got him in an off-season deal with, I believe, Philadelphia. And this is obviously the biggest dividend he's paid off yet. He's had a very boring start. Hasn't shown up much at all in the stat column. But today he won this game for Oakland with an RB 2-run triple and a 2-run homer. And they do beat the Angels again in extra innings by a score of 5-4. It has been a tough slog. I think technically the Angels have outscored the A's in 2 of the 3 losses, because they won 3-0, then they lost by 1 run a couple times. Hasn't been impressive, but what it has been for Oakland is that they're getting these experience in tight games. Now, I know the competition's not very good, but you got to play these tight, close, extra inning games and come away with wins, because that's how the playoffs are. So they're getting their tests in, and it is the Angels would have to win the next four games to force a tiebreaker. The Angels need to win 1. We have Game 4 today in Oakland, and we have, for the Angels, if you want to stop the slide, you got your boy out there, Bill Singer. Very famous for pitching great in Strat-O-Matic for me. 73, he won 20 games for the Angels in 316 innings, 3.22 ERA. He gets the start. And for the Oakland A's, the Maytag repairman, the number 4 starter, who is mostly anonymous for the last few years. Last year, it was Cal Kuntz. This year, it's Lynn McLaughlin. McLaughlin was actually a Red Sox in 72, 8-7 with 3.41 ERA. The A's just sign a different number 4 starter every year out of the draft from some other organization, as their pitchers are often stolen away. Game 4 in Oakland. It's been a tight, tough series. Don't expect these Angels to quit suddenly. And they're trying to even the series up 2 games apiece. Leading off will be Mickey Rivers. 65 flies to center. Sandy Alomar, 66 strikes out. Richie Scheinblum, 39 is a walk. And Paul Shaw, 68 is a single to left. Scheinblum holds the second with 2 outs for Jay Johnstone. 1-2, let's take a look at Jay Johnstone's card. Was with the Angels in 69, maybe 70, then he ended up on the White Sox here in 71 with 16 homers and a .260 average. And he does the White Sox a favor right here and now because that's a 3-run bomb. 3-run homer for Jay Johnstone. And the Angels have a 3-0 lead. A's haven't come close to getting a 3-run lead in this series. Jim Spencer, 54, second X. We have Dick Green today at 2E12. That's a single off of Dick Green after I was talking up his defense. Glenn Borgman strikes out. Bottom of 1, it's Bert Campaneris, 111 short. Mike Hegan, 58 is a K. Joe Rudy, 410, third X. Shaw's a 2E28. Makes the play. Top of 2, it's Tovar, Cesar, 2-7 is a base hit for the B Steeler. Rudy Meoli will hit and run. Runner has to steal, and he steals second base, and he might be on third base. Tennis is an E8, and he rolled a 7. Yes, he throws the ball in the center field. Tovar gets up and scampers over to third with nobody out. That could bring the infield up for Rudy Meoli. 1-9, right be question mark, but you got Reggie -5 arm out there. I don't think so. Actually, I think he's got to run. Tovar, this is a maximum situation. You got the best base runner you could have is Tovar, 17, +2 is 19, -5 for Reggie, makes it a 14. Have to run on a 14. This is a gift run anyway if you get it. And he scores on a 5. So Reggie could not get enough mustard on that ball. And the Angels have their 4th run. Mickey Rivers. 1-8 base hit. A's stealing Mickey Rivers with 1 out. Alomar will hit and run. This seems to be working pretty well. Moves the runner up to second. For Richie Scheinblum. 1-5. Let's take a look at Scheinblum's 73 card with the Angels at 328. I think he went to the All-Star game for the Royals in the previous year and was traded to the Angels. Then he disappeared. But 1-5 for the 328 hitting Angel. Homer 1-7 double. It'll be a double. That'll score another run. 5-0 Angels. Paul Shaw, 56 is a K. I don't think the Angels have ever gotten 5 runs in a game. Bottom of 2, it's Reggie. 1-3, bounce to second. Bando, 6-6, single 108 gets it. Tom Haller, 46, center. Gene Tennis, 6'10", catcher's card. Borgman's a 4-16. Oh, it's going to be an error. And with 2 outs, it's Claudel Washington, 37 is a strikeout. Top of the 3rd, it's Jay Johnstone. 1-7, he walks. He had the big home run earlier. B Steeler. Tennis with a 0 arm. Spencer slings away. 69, double 1 off McLaughlin, single ... Well, the number 4 starter for Oakland is a no-show, it would seem. If the A's are going to win the World Series, it's going to be Blue, Hunter, and Holtzman, because McLaughlin's been awful this year. Runners on the corners for Glenn Borgman. 5'10", short X. 2E27 for Campaneris, and that's double play ball. That will score a run, though. No RBI given. His runners were on the corners. And it's Tovar, 3-6, homer 1-2, fly ball, misses it. I guess the A's aren't too urgent as they have won 2 games already in this series, even though there were extra innings, and just need 1 more win. Just a very unmotivated Oakland team. It's hard to get a read on them if they can just flip a switch once the playoffs begin, assuming they get there, of course. Bounces to short. This is Meoli, a 3-44. That's a base hit. Campaneris, 35 is a walk. Here come the A's. Mike Hegan, 2-6 is a base hit to right field, and Green will hold there. They're going for the big inning. It says a lot for a team that has had no big innings in this whole series. They got to bring it up for 8-bunting Joe Rudy to make it even worse. 1-8, double 1 at 10 is a double. That will score 2, and the A's are making it the game. It is 6-2 now. Second and third, nobody out. Still going to play back for Reggie. 33, rolls to the pitcher, but they hold. Second and third, 1 out. They're still going to play it back with a 4-run lead. 66, single 1 at 8 off Singer. Can't get it. It's a liner to second. And with 2 outs, it's Tom Haller. 67 for the left-hander is a base hit in the center field. That will score some runners, at least one. Rudy will run. 13, 14, 15 against Tovar is a 14. But he's thrown out on a 20. How about that? So 1 run scores. The other guy's thrown out at the plate. Equal opportunity guys getting thrown out. 6-3 game. In the 4th we go. Rudy Mioli. 1-2, short A, plus injury. Oh boy, they lost their shortstop. And it means Bobby Valentine will come in to play short. Mickey Rivers, 48. Single 1 to 4 off of McLaughlin. Lines out. With 2 outs, Sandy Alomar pops to first. That's McLaughlin's best inning. Will he settle down? Maybe he's just too rusty. It's Gene Tennis. 38's a walk. Claudio Washington, 64. You got Homer 1 to 3 fly ball, and it's a fly ball. Also, Claudel had 0 home runs, so that wouldn't have been a homer anyway. Dick Green, 65. Double 1 to 4, base hit. Runners are on the corners with 1 out. Bill Singer, uncharacteristically, blowing this 6-0 lead. Expecting more out of him in an elimination game. Abe Bunting Campaneris have to bring the infield up. He's already bunted for a single in a series. 48 is a sac fly to center, and we do have a 6-4 game as the A's have chipped away here. Your tie run is Mike Egan. 1-5's a walk. And now the lead run is at the plate. It's Joe Rudy. 3-11 is a strikeout. The A's have chipped away in the last few innings. It's just a 6-4 game in the 5th. Richie Scheinblum, 56 off McLaughlin, flies to right. Paul Shaw, 34, grounds to short. And with 2 outs, Johnstone, 1-7 is a walk. He's had a nice day. He's reached every time. Will he try a steal? Let's try a steal. He is going to be 13-0-10. He's in there. Barely. Runner at second for Jim Spencer. 2-9, Jim Spencer on his card. Let's take a look at it. 18 big home runs in 71, even though he hit just 237, but he always brings that great defense at first base and an ability to hit lefties a little bit as well, making him very valuable. 2-9, homer 1 to 10, double the rest. It is gone, and the Angels pile on 2 more runs here. Just when we were about to get McLaughlin out of this game, out of a winnable game. Glenn Borgman, 1-6 is a walk, and that'll do it. Can't take it. 4 2/3. Well, there's more bad news for Oakland. They do not have a reliable pitcher beyond the big 3. Ron Taylor will come out of the bullpen. Former Met. Got a World Series ring with the New York Mets at one point. Now he's here in Oakland trying to do the same thing. Comes on in the 5th inning. He was 71 with the Mets. It was 2-2 with a 3.65 ERA in 69 innings. He comes on in the 5th to face Tovar, who's 1 for 2 with stolen base. 2-6 for Tovar, double 1 to 2, single dot. That puts runners on the corners for Bobby Valentine, in for the injured Mioli. 37 skies to center field. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th. If you are thinking, as I am thinking, that the Oakland A's are very, very overrated, you would have a solid argument. But the Cards are phenomenal. And at a certain point, you expect them just to start bludgeoning teams. Maybe they're just saving all of that for the playoffs. It must be the only thing I can think of. because they are cherry-picked the best years for most of these players, including this guy, Reggie Jackson. 211 bounces it short. Sal Bando. 110 is a double to center field. See what I mean? Automatic double on 10. 32 doubles for Bando. Tom Haller. 1-5 bounce to first. Runner at third, 2 outs for Gene Tennis. 38's a walk. 2 on, 2 outs for Claudell Washington. 1-7, he strikes out. 0 for 3. We'll get the Claudell Washington's batting average in the post game because it's pretty horrible. There's a lot of really horrible stats on this Oakland team. We'll get to all of them in the post game, regardless of who wins. 8-4. We go to the 6th. Ron Taylor will continue. It's Mickey Rivers. 4-4. Center X. Claudell's a 4E6 in center field. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. And it's a single. That's 3 cracks at it. Couldn't do it. Alomar will hit and run, as he wants to do most of the time anyway. Hit and run. That is going to be a single on a 12. Beat A, yes. Runners in the corners for Shine Bloom. We'll play it up because we're down by 4. 59, second X. Dick Green's a 2 second baseman. Makes the play. Second and third still up for Paul Shaw. 211 pops out. And with 2 outs, they move it back for Jay Johnstone, who's having a perfect day, and it continues, folks. 1-4. You saw that card. Jay Johnstone, see you later. 3-run homer, and oh my goodness, you talk about a slow trot around the bases. The guy needs a cane to get around third base, and Bando doesn't like that at all. As the Angels are mocking the A's 11-4 here. A team that hasn't scored more than 4 runs all year scores 11, so I guess they get a little cocky, full of themselves. And Jay Johnstone's a practical joker anyway, so. Jim Spencer, 1-8, flies to right field. Well, 11-4. Let's try and hurry this up now for you, folks. Dick Green, 1-7's a K. Campaneris, 63. Pitcher X. Singer is a E23. You can't get on base. And Hegan, 5'9", second X. 2E16 at second base. Makes the play. Taylor will give you another inning. He'll go 2 1/3. He needs to work. Glenn Borgman, 5'11", short X. 2E27 makes the play. Tovar, 58, pops to short. And 6'11" for Valentine is first X. Hegan's a 2E10. Makes the play. Stretch time here in Oakland, where it's still can't figure this team out. I mean, they did just win the last 2 games, narrowly. Now they're getting beat up. We've been enjoying a groovy situation. 1971, right at the beginning of the timeline, with Reuben Wilson. Did his business in Pasadena, California, but we'd like to think he would have come up the coast to see the Oakland A's. And he provides the background music today. 1971, great organist, Reuben Wilson. Passed away recently and tragically in the year 2023 here. Bottom of the 7th, Bill Singer continues, an 11-4 game. Joe Rudy, 46 Ks. Reggie, 37 walks. Bando, 36 walks. Tom Haller, 1-8, single 1 12. Cannot get it, rolls a 16. Gene Tennis, 36 Ks. Another scoreless. Singer will take the rest of the afternoon off, as will Ron Taylor. We go to the 8th inning, and we'll have Bob Locker, former Seattle Pilot, amongst many teams. In the 8th, it'll be Mickey Rivers, 56, second X. Dick Green's a 2, makes the play. Alomar, 39, second. Shine Bloom, 47, is a K. No defense to bring in. Bottom of the 8th, Singer left. We'll go Jim McLaughlin in the 8th. Long man, get some work. Jim McLaughlin was a Cincinnati Red pitcher. Then he went over to the Angels. He had 1 good year with them, or maybe not. He was a Red. He played for Cincinnati with this card in '71. It'll be Claudell Washington, 56, short X. 3E44 Mioli. 4E31. What's his doodle? Base hit. Valentine for the injured Muley. Dick Green. 47 is a walk. Oh boy. Back up top to Campaneris. 66 pops a second. Mike Hegan, 38 is singled out dot. Well, I'll tell you what, the A's have put men on base today, and they are trying to make this interesting. 11-5 now. Runners on the corners, 1 out. They got to bring it up for A. Bunning, Joe Rudy. 1-4 lefty question mark for Dick Green. 0 arm. I think you might want to tag up just to get within 5. He barely makes it, I think. 12, 13, 14 with a 0 arm, so he does tag up there. 2 outs, a man at first for Reggie. Skies to right. All right, 11-6. Blocker in the 9th to Paul Shaw. I'm still amazed the Angels got 11 runs. I didn't even think it was humanly possible. 67 is a single. More than 11. And Jay Johnstone, he's on for the 5th time. 1-9, Jay Johnstone, single to left field. He is 3 for 3 with 2 walks. Has scored 1, 2, 3, 4 times so far. Has 4 RBIs. Dream game for Johnstone. 2 on for Jim Spencer. 3-6, 4-6-3 double play. Runner goes to third, 2 outs for Glenn Borgman, and he strikes out. McLaughlin will try and get the final 3 outs. Sal Bando. 45 center. Tom Haller, 6'10", third X. 2E28. Makes the play, and with 2 outs, Gene Tennis. Tennis 1-7, homer 1-19, and well, he gets it. It's 11-7. Claudio Washington, 67, is a liner to second base, and there's your ball game. Well, that was kind of a lame game there that Oakland lost. And you're like, man, how can this Oakland team, they went to the World Series a year ago, how can they get better and look so bad for most of this season? I don't know, folks. Jim McLaughlin gave up 3 hits and 3 runs in a couple innings with a walk. Singer, everything else, he got a win, 7 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. He did walk 6, struck out 7, a lot of walks. Bob Locker, 2 hits, 2 Ks. Ron Taylor gave up a hit, and then he gave up 3 hits and 3 runs in that inning, and nothing else. And Glenn McLaughlin was pretty awful. 8 hits, 8 runs. 6 are earned, walked 4, struck out 3. 1-009, 0-109, 11-14, 7-10. 4-5, 7-7, 7-7, 4-5. Well, it's like nothing happened in this division except 4 games were played that were split. So the Angels still find themselves 3.5 games back. However, there's only 3 games left. This is so sad to watch Oakland just simply walk away with this division title without playing any meaningful, other than these extra inning contests they keep getting involved in. So let's take a look at the stats now. 3.5 game difference. Yep. A's 3 over, Angels 4 under. Riley Fingers given up 13 runs in 17 1/3 innings. That's a 6.76 ERA for your Oakland closer. How about Vida Blue? The guy with the MVP in 1971. 3.60 ERA, that's not bad. Claudel Washington is 14 for 66. Hitting .212. We've been playing Joe Foy a lot. He's 13 for 61. Well, similar average. Reggie is still doing the lifting for this team. Looking around, glaring at his teammates, going, come on, man. I'm not going to sit here every day and carry this team while we limp along with 19 and 16. This is mediocre baseball out of the Oakland A's, all I can say. Nothing really special about this team, statistically. Your Angels are 14 and 18. Led by, I don't know. No, there's nothing really, anything going on special other than Spencer. Jim Spencer's got 7 homers and 17 RBIs. But he's sitting around 250. How about Jay Johnstone? After that big game that you just saw, Jay Johnstone's now up to 6 homer and 22 RBI, so that's nice. He's 36 for 127. Hitting 36 for 127. Let me try that again. Hitting 283. I was going to say I must have got a number wrong. 283 for Johnstone. So, we look at the overall standings. A 4-game split. Here we are. The winner of this division will play the leader of this division will play the leader of this one, and it's going to be the White Sox 8 over. So they're going to have an easy time of it trying to stay out of the number 4 seed. Looks like the White Sox, worst case, will be a 3, 2, or a 1, as the A's can't seem to get their act together to catch the Chi Sox. That will most likely be an exhibition series anyway, with nothing consequential happening. The Angels 4 under 500, but in reality, Texas and the Seattle are so bad that the Angels will continue into the second round of this tournament regardless of what happens. So that's it for now. The Angels win games 1 and 4. A's won games 2 and 3. So I have to keep playing until the A's win 1 more game or the Angels win 4 more games. When that happens, we'll give you the result. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you at the end of the video. All right, baseball fans, here's the box score of the game you just saw. The Game 4 road win by the Angels. Each team has won and lost at home and on the road, thinking that this might be a competitive series. The Angels winning this one 11-7, but unfortunately in Game 5, some guy named Vida Blue is still employed by the Oakland A's, and he'll face Frank Tanana for the second time on 3 days rest this time. Starts out promising for the Angels. They get the Blue, walk, K, single, and a sac fly. It's 2-zip. Bottom of the second inning, though, a Hegan double, Gene Tennis 2-run homer ties it. In the 6th inning, an RBI single by Hegan makes it 3-2. They're getting guys on versus Vida Blue, are the Angels, but they're not doing anything with it. Bottom of the 7th, a single, a K, a single, a ground out, and then with 2 outs and 2 runners on second and third, it is Sal Bando with the soul-crushing 2-out, 2-run single to make this a 5-2 game, at which point it's all academic if Vida Blue can get the last 6 outs. Gives up a single and a walk in the 8th, and that's about it. It's a 5-2 win for Oakland. Vida Blue, 9 innings, 7 hits. 2 runs, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. Nothing to sneeze out there. That's a fine outing. Not complaining about it. He wasn't perfect, of course, and he's been in a slump all year. But, yeah, that's enough to get you into the playoffs. Frank Tanana, 6 2/3, 12 hits. And when you look at the overall standings now, in this West, the A's have potentially clinched this thing. We don't say they've clinched it yet until the whole tournament's over, but for all intents and purposes, they've had at just 4 games over 500 because everybody else is so awful. In the next round, in the round of 5, where the top seeds play for seeding purposes, it will be White Sox Oakland. White Sox 8 over, A's 4 over, which means the White Sox are 2 games better, which means that the A's would have to beat the White Sox 4 out of 5 to move up to a number 3 seed over the White Sox. And the White Sox have a chance to move up to a 1 or 2 seed, depending on what else happens in the league and if they can beat up on the A's. In the friendly, we put in air quotes. It's a friendly where both the White Sox and A's will play a potential 5-game series with neither team being eliminated. That's it tonight from the American League West. Break up the Oakland A's. They win 3-2 over California. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you next time.